On November 14th, 2023, long before the Lies of P Overture DLC ever graced us with its lore, I posed a theory that a genius engineer by the name of Camille was not only Carlo's mother and Geppetto's late wife, but also the sacred maid puppet whose awakened ego was key in the alchemist's pursuit of immortality. With the scarce information available at the time, I deduced that it was her untimely death that led the grief-stricken Geppetto down a twisted path that only devils would dare tread upon. However, details around her death remained a mystery, until now. Was it truly an accident, or something far more sinister? Extend your stay in Krat to find out the truth. But before we come to a definitive answer, it's time to give credit where it's due. Kudos to WizardWolf1020 for locating the Easter egg in the previous thumbnail. If you look closely, you will see the Lease from record in Rosara's locks. If you're new to the channel, I've started playing a game with viewers where I hide an Easter egg in the thumbnail of each of my videos. The first person to state what and where it is in the comments gets a shout out in the following video. Now, back to the matter at hand. For a full in-depth breakdown of Camille's life and rebirth, feel free to click on the video on screen. This video, however, will focus on the events surrounding her mysterious death and her true hidden nature. As we know from various collectibles strewn about Krat, Camille was an engineer with unmatched talent. The item description for the key granting entrance to the Saintess of Mercy statue says it best. A key obtained from Simon Manus, leader of the alchemists. It opens the grand exhibition gallery where the Saintess of Mercy statue can be found. The genius engineer Camille received a request from the alchemists and created a masterpiece. This was the Saintess of Mercy statue that brought back to life the puppets under golden divine protection. It's interesting to note that Camille's Saintess of Mercy statue was not simply decorative. It had a very clear function and purpose that allowed beings powered by Ergo to reallocate resources freely. There is only one other method in all of Krat that can achieve similar results. This is of course the gold coin tree at Hotel Krat. Despite their obvious differences, both of these devices, for lack of a better term, required gold coin fruit in order to carry out their designated function. But how can two things so different in nature and design carry out nearly identical functions? How could Camille have replicated the effects of the gold coin tree in her Statue of Mercy? We know that listeners were incredibly gifted individuals who could manipulate Ergo and even time itself with their special abilities. Sophia was powerful enough to drive the events that would lead Geppetto's puppet down the path to reawakening and Krat's salvation. Naturally, the alchemists wanted to control such potential for absolute power, and in their haste, many mistakes were made. Camille was one such case. She was not only gifted with genius-level intellect, but also the unique abilities that only listeners possessed. The Order's letter of reprimand provides additional details. It reads, "Do not forget the importance of the listeners. This recent situation is the regrettable consequence. I have repeatedly emphasized the value of these special individuals. They must always be approached with great care. Now, this recent series of accidents has robbed us of a listener candidate. This is a significant loss. I acknowledge that managing this specific candidate was difficult due to the subject's position and the high amount of interest in her. However, this accident resulted in her death, the mysterious death of a family member of the head of the workshop union. This is something that even the Order does not condone. Do not forget that exhaustive measures and even terminations had to be carried out to cover up her death and our complicity. The members who planned this misguided experiment will be dealt with. They were not authorized to attempt to create linkages between listeners and the Great One's relics. If a similar incident occurs in the future, the Order will not hesitate to punish those responsible. You can never be too careful when approaching a listener. Ensure you proceed with the utmost caution." This memo is regarding Camille's accidental death by the hands of the overzealous alchemists and the cover-up they would fabricate to keep the public in the dark. The crumpled letter expresses Valentinus Monod's condolences for Geppetto's loss and provides another variation to the story that the people of Krat would never receive. It states, "My dearest Geppetto, it is my duty to bring you the regrettable news of Camille's death. Reports indicate the job was proceeding as planned when a catastrophic chemical leak occurred, leading to a colossal mortality event. There were no survivors. Due to the ongoing toxicity at the site, search and recover operations have been called off. I cannot describe how much it pains me to deliver the news to you, my friend." Camille shone brightly with the light of a genius. All of us, all of Krat, have lost a brilliant star. The Order will provide complete support for the funeral arrangements of Camille and her assistants. Mere currency cannot ever equal the friendship Camille showed us, but we hope you will accept this as a sincere gesture of sympathy for your loss. May trust and friendship between the workshop and the Order never falter. It seems that Valentinus conveniently left out details regarding her potential candidacy as a listener, and the fact that she was killed as a result of the alchemist's curiosity and subsequent experimentation. A heavily curated third version of the story was released to the public. The news clipping provided the following fictional account. Breaking news: cruise ship disaster, 13 souls lost. 13 noteworthy figures in Krat society are believed dead after a cruise ship belonging to one of the individuals capsized late last night. City officials inform us the excursion aboard the ship was part of an educational tour meant to give dignitaries a full view of Krat's history, culture, and philosophies. They further allege that an immediate family member of the head of the workshop union was among the fatalities. Attempts to contact the organizers of the fatal excursion have failed, and so far, they appear to have disappeared without a trace. While the families of the victims seek answers, city officials have designated the next 2 weeks as an official remembrance period. Publish without redaction, and make sure to keep that reporter out of the loop. It seems the aforementioned terminations included any and all parties that were involved in the incident. To honor her contributions to Krat's advancement, Camille was memorialized in a monument just outside the Estella Opera House, along with a few loving words from a distraught Geppetto. But her tragic tale was far from over, because in Krat, death was only the beginning. Just like the Saintess of Mercy statue she had crafted with her very hands, life after death was not merely a symbol, but a true possibility. This statue's resemblance to the real-life Pietà is undeniable, and both works of art are ripe with symbolism. Michelangelo's marble statue depicted a scene of Mary holding her lifeless son Jesus after his death by crucifixion. Despite his apparent end, he would rise again to usher in a new age of peace and prosperity. This echoes Carlo's death to the petrification disease and subsequent reawakening inside the vessel of Geppetto's puppet. Although his corporeal form had perished, his soul, thanks to the unnatural preservative properties of ergo, continued to live on. He too would transcend death and lead a path of truth in a world of lies, forging a new fate for Krat in the process. It seems that even in death, Camille's loving embrace would allow those dear to her a chance to reveal the true nature of their hearts. Geppetto would sink into the darkest depths of humanity, while Carlo would redefine what it means to be human. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know you want more content just like this. Click on these videos on screen to continue your journey through Krat, and I'll be there to guide you when you arrive. Become a true theory hunter for exclusive perks like emojis, early access to videos, and more. Or check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support me in a more personal way. Until next time, it's the Inhuman one signing out. Join the Inhuman community today.